274 years ago, Benjamin Franklin discovered electricity, but I think he'd have a lot easier time coming here tonight for this championship race in the American Thunder Superspeedway Series. It's going to be a battle right to the end, and it's a head-to-head one here with the Bracket Challenge. I'm here with Josh Patterson and Tyler Ryan, our commentators here on the Ignite Sim Racing Network stream here. And we're going to be in for a hell of a show here at the Daytona International Speedway. Let's bring these guys in. Josh, how you doing tonight?
Doing all right, Jay. Doing all right. Here for a fantastic night of racing in front of us. Cannot wait to see what these guys do here at Daytona. Obviously, big storyline tonight is the championship finale between Matthew Wood and Joseph Smith. More on that in a little bit. But I'm here with Tyler as well. Tyler, how are you feeling tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm excited to see this head-to-head show for the championship here at the World Center of Racing, Daytona International Superspeedway. This is where we started out the season. This is where we're going to finish the season, where we're going to crown a champion. Doing great today.
Absolutely good to hear. We got 2.5 mile Superspeedway, the World Center of Racing in front of us tonight. 3.5 minutes left of practice. Jay, you were going to say something there?
Yeah, I was just going to say this racetrack is an absolute cathedral of speed. It's such an electric place to be in real life, and even on here on iRacing. It's going to be a wonderful show here tonight. And of course, like Tyler mentioned, we started the season at Daytona. That was the old bumpy Daytona. Tonight we're on the new updated full version of Daytona, and all those bumps smoothed right out that repave, and these guys are going to have lots of grip, a little bit of waxing gibbous here tonight, or waxing crescent rather, here tonight, and they're going to be gripped up. They're going to be able to make a lot of moves, and it's going to be an exciting showdown for the championship here tonight, and I think Josh has more for you on that.
Yeah, absolutely. But before we get into our race here, let's take a look at both your schedule and your points. We started off here at Daytona all the way back at the end of May. Back here at Daytona, bookending the schedule, first race and last race. We then headed to Talladega Superspeedway, Full Throttle Motorsports dominating the first two races. Really was a story all season, Full Throttle Motorsports domination. They have also been able to claim the team's championship as of 1 week ago. So Full Throttle Motorsports with the team championship from the season. After Talladega, we headed to Pocono Raceway. Thrilling finish between Kylie Thier and Ryan Whitaker coming through turn 3 at Pocono. Following that, we went to Auto Club Speedway to wrap off the regular season. Our playoffs was started off at iRacing Superspeedway for a thriller of a finish. Then we headed to Atlanta Echo Park Speedway. Following that, last week, 1 week ago, Nashville Superspeedway, which brings us back to Daytona for another 80 laps, 200 miles here tonight. Going to be a show. So let's take a look at our points bracket. After those three previous playoff races in the 4-race elimination style bracket playoffs, it's down to 2. Matthew Wood, Joseph Smith taking on one another here at Daytona. You can see the other 14 drivers who made an attempt at these playoffs, but was sadly eliminated before they could have a chance at the finale. Full Throttle Motorsports taking up the final 4 spots, now taking up the final 2, both Wood and Smith on that Full Throttle Motorsports squad. So great season for them. But yeah, that leads us into our matchup here tonight. Jay, let's start off with your thoughts between the two of the 16 and the 31.
Yeah, of course. Excuse me, a little disappointed Jace Lafort not involved here. He was my pick from day one, but had an incredible season, didn't manage to make it through, but I think we're in for a really good show tonight. I'm not really sure who to pick here. I mean, Daytona can be really chaotic, really tight, and it's sure to be a crazy show, but I think Matthew Wood's the one to go with here. He's been really strong all season long and seems to find his way there at the end. Of course, Joseph Smith, also a really good contender, and he also seems to find his way there to the front at the end of these races. So I think we're going to come down right to the exit turn 4 on the final lap for who's going to win this thing.
So we see practice finishing up, and Tyler hesitant to speak. We are going to head into our qualifying session here tonight. 5 minutes to qualify, as is per usual here in the American Thunder Superspeedway Series. We're going to see trucks take the track to put down the fastest lap they can in their 2-lap allotted sessions. None of our championship drivers out yet tonight. Jace Lafort, though, team championship owner right there, owner of the Full Throttle Motorsports, out on track, got eliminated last round, so he's looking to get a little vengeance and get himself a race win here tonight.
Yeah, I'll just take this little opportunity we've got during qualifying where we see Jace Lafort make his initial lap here to kind of make my pick. Like Jay sort of made his pick, didn't really. I don't know if he really made a pick, but he kind of broke it down perfectly. Matthew Wood has had speed all year long. I feel like we see him at the front of these races consistently, and so when I think of Matthew Wood, I think of speed. But then on the other side of that playoff bracket, when we see Joseph Smith, I think of consistency. I think of him helping his Full Throttle teammates get to the front, being a team player, and then always ending up at the front with them. And so really it's that battle between speed and consistency that I think we're going to see here today. And because of that consistency, I'm going to go with Smith to be my championship pick. I just think that he is so tactical with the decisions that he makes, and he has the speed, don't get me wrong, but I think he's going to be able to play the games that are required at Daytona just a little bit better, and that's going to keep him ahead of Wood when it matters most. So Joseph Smith is my pick for the championship going into today.
Yeah, no matter who you pull for, Smith or Wood, both very, very good choices here. I mean, both drivers who absolutely deserve to be here. We're the 2 and the 5 seed, Wood in the 2, Smith in the 5. So both started off pretty high up in the seeding when this playoff started, but have filtered themselves through the rounds, beaten out their competition, and now sit as the top 2 remaining. Tyler Clunan going to go to the top of the charts. He'll be your fastest driver as of 2.5 minutes into qualifying with a 51.794. Top of the charts for the 20. That brings up another chance to talk about the differing strategies for qualifying here. You get some guys who just run the bottom immediately and try to get the fastest lap both laps they can. Others who will run the wall in their first lap and really get the momentum down for a second lap charge.
Yeah, for sure. Excuse me again. But qualifying here is such an interesting thing. It seems like there's a few different strategies you can pull off, like you mentioned. But generally, my rule of thumb is try to get that wall as soon as you can and get that run off turn 4. But I've seen many different things work out here as Tyler Clunan stays at the top of the board so far. A little bit of time to go here.
Matthew Wood running the top side here on his first flyer lap. He is one of your championship drivers. It seems like he is out on track. However, championship rival Joseph Smith is not. So Smith electing to start at the back for this one. Those 2 championship drivers denoted by the bright yellow background, black numbers on the ticker, and anywhere you see the driver numbers pop up. So look out for those. They're obvious enough of which drivers are in the championship, but Matthew Wood will start off with a 10th place time, but running that top side obviously is going to hurt him a little bit on that first lap. Going to try to make it up here on the second one.
Yeah, Matthew Wood here is looking to improve his time from the first lap. You can use that first lap around the top to kind of get your momentum built up and use the second lap as your fast lap once you've got your truck up to speed. But I'm seeing here that Joseph Smith has not made it out on track for qualifying yet, so he's not going to be able to set a time. That, to me, shows that he's prepared to just work his way through the field and be kind of tactical about this, while Matthew Wood goes to the top of the times with a 51.717. So Matthew Wood, as of now, starting on pole for your championship race.
As they say in dirt racing around the country, that is a quick time for Matthew Wood. He will go to the top of the charts. The only truck on track right now, it seems to be Carter Cornwell in the 18 this week, running a Kyle Busch paint scheme. Bit cursed that it's on a truck, but either way.
I love to see that. Time runs out, unfortunately, but one thing I want to throw in there just before we go to the starting lineup is I saw Jace Lafort and a couple other drivers were actually testing their pit entries, which will be important tonight if we do get green flag pit stops, which we likely will. But they were practicing their pit entry. They completed their qualifying time, came back around, and tried to hit their marks there entering pit road.
Absolutely going to be important here tonight. So going to be important if I can find a camera angle for the starting grid. But let's take a look through your starting grid. On the pole tonight is going to be the aforementioned Matthew Wood. With that pole position, championship driver here will be starting up front, right next to teammate Quentin Steinbach. Row 2 is going to be the 11 of Brian Kenny, starting next to the 8 of Paul Granada. Row 3 is going to be Tyler Clunan and Randy Cornwell. Row 4 is going to be Caden White and Chris Worrell. And rounding out your top 10 is going to be the 9 of Jace Lafort and the 3 of Tim Averill.
Looking further back now to the back half of the field, we got the 111 of Chris Lewis alongside Carter Cornwell. That finishes off our qualifying times. After that, the field is just set by, I'm actually not sure how it's set, but anyways, Joseph Smith, our other championship contender in that 31, alongside Logan Hamilton in the 44. And we're going to have Lucien Thompson in the 61. He's in 15th, alongside Henry Clappert in the 34 truck. Then we have Carson Kenny in the 87 and Aaron Beaver in the 97 trucks. And rounding our field, bringing up the rear, going to be Jesse Meyer in the number 14 truck.
19 trucks here to take on Daytona International Speedway for the championship finale. A nice sized field here tonight. Hopefully we'll be able to get some green flag racing in. It seems like third place Brian Kenny does not choose to grid, so he will elect to start from the pits from this one. So we'll see if that strategy plays out, but a good qualifying time, will not go through with it.
Yeah, of course, some guys wanting to stay toward the back and maybe avoid some of the early shenanigans we have going. Fuel run is going to be about 23 to 25 laps here, and it's a 54% fuel load here tonight, and so it's roughly 42-44 here at Daytona normally. Cut that in half, probably 23-25 or so roughly, but I've been wrong before on the fuel runs here, but should be a good show with with 8 laps here tonight. We're going to see these guys come down pit road a few times, and strategy definitely going to come into play.
Right, you are. Strategy gonna be a big one here tonight. And obviously, between those two championship rivals there in Matthew Wood and Joseph Smith, it looks like we've got 54% fuel here tonight at Daytona. That's the second smallest we'll have seen all year. Smallest was at Auto Club at 50%. These fuel percentages randomly generated before the start of the season, anywhere between 40 and 80%. So these guys will have a little over half the amount a normal truck series truck would have. So that'll make things interesting. Means that we'll have to pit a little more than you'd usually expect for these trucks.
Yeah, absolutely. As we roll around turn 4 here and get ready to go to the green, that fuel strategy, it might be a 2 or 3 stopper or maybe a 4 stopper. It's going to be tight to see what these guys do, but definitely something to keep an eye on here tonight as that pace track pulls off.
They're going to shoot through the Cornwall Barbecue Sauce restart zone for the first time tonight. And it's going to be Matthew Wood, Quentin Steinbach taking the field to the green flag for your championship finale here at Daytona.
That was a great start from both lines. The outside line getting a little bit of a run here. Steinbach might clear Wood as we come into turn 1 and coming through turn 2. Now the outside line is breaking up a little bit, but pretty good 2x2 racing all the way throughout the field.
Yeah, Paul Granada pushing up that outside lane quite well here, but they're gonna even out down the back straightaway here. It's gonna be tight to see gonna be interesting to see these guys how tight they are with the lack of the bumps from the old Daytona that we started the season off with. These guys are gonna be able to lock on the bumpers a little more and push a little harder, and maybe gotta watch out for a little overheating as we shuffle off turn 4.
33 of Caden Wood gets a little sideways there. Number on the broadcast sticker showing the 29. Rest assured, he is in the 33. A little oversight on my end. My apologies. So the 29 on the ticker is the 33 in game and on track. Quentin Steinbach still up front, side by side with teammate Matthew Wood, able to control the first 2 lanes pretty well as of now.
Randy Cornwell is in it 3 wide up the middle, coming off of turn 2 there. So we're 3 wide now at the front. 3 wide for the lead as Paul Granada goes to the outside.
It seemed like
he's going to get a good push from Tim Averill.
Yeah, Cornwell shoving at 3 almost gave Paul an excuse to shoot to the top line there. Us in the broadcast booth very familiar with the way Paul Granada likes to race, and race would almost be an exaggeration. He's more of a pinball out there at times. So
yeah, aggressive might be an understatement, but we're going to go with aggressive.
As contacts, middle of the field, that's going to be involved.
And we're going to have a crash.
Caution flag is going to come out for the first time tonight. Seems like your championship drivers are going to make it through. Randy Cornwell, however, is going to end up backwards going through turns 1 and 2. Not what you want to see.
Thankfully, it looked like minimal impacts there for those guys. But, yeah, lanes got crossed up. Guys sent down on the apron, tried to come back up, and this thing's ran into trouble there as we look at the IgniteSRN replay here.
Randy Cornwell, middle of the field there. Looks like he just kind of gets crossed up. Bounces off of 1, 2, 3 cars and goes for a spin. Collects Lafort as well. Lafort will manage to keep it going in the right direction, however. So,
yeah, like I said, looks like minimal contact there. A lot of those, or pretty much everyone there, should be able to continue with minimal issues here. Get another look at it.
I think you'll see Tyler Clune on the inside come up the racetrack just a touch right after we cross the line, and then you'll see Cornwell come down the track at the same time, and the two just kind of meet in the middle there. Unfortunate set of circumstances, and that's kind of what happens when you race 3 wide in the tri-oval at Daytona. Things get tight very fast. These trucks get light, and they move around a lot, and then when contact happens, there's really not much you can do to save them.
And I gotta say, one hell of a job by Jace Lafort there. He pretty much did 360 and kept on going there. I don't even know that he hit the wall. He just got turned around backwards and just spun it back around, kept on going like nothing happened. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, heck of a job from the 9 truck there. Like we said, he's just racing for prestige, for the win, and to help his teammates out here. But yeah, I mean, there's not really much to help out his teammates with at this point. They're both 1-2 in the championship, so the only thing you'd be doing there is playing favorites.
Pit road, a little busy here. Guys trying to get ahead of schedule on their fuel strategy, try to keep that tank full. So we see pretty much the back half of the field come down pit road here and either get damage repair from that incident or fill up full of fuel. Of course, want to keep that tank full.
I know it's early, but Matthew Wood misses his box a little bit there. It's going to slide through it, and it's going to fall all the way down to the back of the field. So quickly, we've had a change of hands here in this championship battle. Wood started on pole here tonight, has already fallen behind rival in Joseph Smith.
Which, of course, important to get that track position, but a long race here tonight, 80 laps. It's going to be 200 miles here at Daytona, and lots can happen in that time.
For sure, as we're Carter Cornwell, I want to say, has seemed to warm up to these trucks very quickly. Had a bit of a struggle last week in his inaugural start in the American Thunder Super Speedway Series. Finished in 10th place. We gave him an interview at the end of that one, and looks like he wants to be in the interviews for podium at the end of this one, as he's running P3 already and looks to have some speed here in the 18 truck tonight.
Yeah, you have to imagine that coming to Daytona in your second race is just a tad easier than somewhere like Nashville Superspeedway, where you really have to work the truck a lot harder and it's a little bit more difficult to find speed. Where Daytona, as long as you can understand how the draft works and kind of go with the flow and keep your foot to the floor, you're going to be competitive here. And Carter Cornwell seems to have figured that out very quickly.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm a little biased, big Kyle Busch fan over here, but I do love that Kyle Busch paint scheme on that number 18 truck. And could be one to watch here is, like you guys said, he's cut his way through the field and figured things out quite well here. And, of course, the championship battle, the main focus tonight, but we're in for a great race. I mean, these guys are really going after it early on here. Hopefully we avoid some more incidents, but a lot of great racing going on through the field as we get the one to green, and we're going to go back to racing here very shortly.
Yeah, gonna see some great racing here tonight. I mean, already 3 wide for a majority of that first couple lap run there. Didn't work out, unfortunately, as I think they tried to go 4 almost, and it didn't quite work out, but sure, that's part of the learning process here, making sure you're equipped to race with everyone around you. And yeah, still 19 trucks in the fight, so we did not lose any from that first wreck, so that one comes off as more of an oopsie. Let's try that again.
Yeah, for sure. And already the fuel game coming into play here is Paul Granata running the apron through 1 and 2 and
throwing dirt up all over the track, honestly.
Yeah, I'm a little odd running it on the backstretch there, but cutting the distance, pushing that clutch in, shutting the motor off, trying to save some fuel and give them more options down the road.
Yeah, just looking back, I think maybe the most important thing that this caution did is even out the playing field in our championship battle. Any advantage that Wood had from qualifying up front is now gone, as he is behind Joseph Smith on the track now. Joseph Smith getting through the pit phase a little bit quicker and just coming out ahead of him. So we're pretty much even when it comes to the championship battle. Both trucks are relatively close to the back. We'll see how they fare as the pace truck pulls off of pit road and we head to Cornwell Barbecue Sauce restart zone.
Paul Granata's going to fire early in the box, and we're going to go back green flag racing here on lap number 7. Tim Averill's going to tuck down behind Carter Cornwell, not with the greatest restart, but those two out front are going to break away from the rest of the field.
Yeah, a little jumbled up further back there, a little 3 wide action going on. Oh, we have a crash. The 33 got turned sideways, left rear got tagged. Oh, he tagged the wall there again. But he got tagged in the left rear there, and it was on from there. And oh, it looks like he's towing back to pit road. Unfortunate incident there. Is looks like someone wasn't clear, and the lanes got crossed up there. We'll have a look.
Look back. That was right on your restart. Like we see in the top 2, get a great jump. Like Jesse Meyer runs his lane there, goes up to the outside wall, and I'm not sure if that was Cornwell in the 18 coming up or White in the 33 coming down, but both make contact. Get the 34 involved as well, and White will just so slightly touch the outside wall, but seems like he's going to call it a night right there, tow it back to pit lane, and that might be the end of the night for the 33 of Caden White.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looked like those guys just didn't give each other enough room there. They were 3 wide and didn't quite give each other enough room, at least not for where we lap 8 of the race, lap 7 there on the restart. Feel like they could have given each other a little more room, and that could have been avoided.
Yeah, for sure. You're going to have to see a lot more give and take throughout this race. And then really a scary moment for your 2 championship contenders who were behind that wreck. They're going to have to be really patient here. I think that might be why you see both of them drop to the back of the field there, is they just want to make sure that they have plenty of time to check up for any incidents that happen. And none of these guys around them really seem to care too much about the playoff battle. They're all going for the win, which is in their right to do so. So maybe we'll see things settle down here as we've seen 2 wrecks early on. We'll maybe get a good green flag run as trucks come down to pit road to take some more fuel.
Yeah, pit road very busy right here as Paul Grenoy leads them down, and only a couple stragglers stay out. These guys, of course, like I've mentioned a million times, it feels like, but trying to get ahead of schedule on their fuel strategy and keep that tank full, keep their options open as the race develops later on.
Nada is going to win the race off. April will come out second, Steinbach third, Lewis fourth, Worrell fifth, and you can see the rest of the field coming out there. Smith, Lafort, and Wood going to be back-to-back-to-back as Full Throttle Motorsports teammates. So, planned that well between the FTM squad. And you can see the rest of the trucks file out now. As it looks like it's the Cornwells. Randy and Carter Cornwell are going to be your stragglers, both of them staying out and deciding to go 1-2 on the field. Both sponsored by Cornwell Barbecue Sauce, and personal testimony here. Ordered some of my own Cornwell Barbecue Sauce, the sweet variant, late last week. Came in earlier a couple days ago, tried it, and had the family try it as well. A pluses from everyone. So, yeah, just an absolutely phenomenal sauce, and we'll definitely be buying again.
Yeah, it's actually a little too bad. I think I must have just missed that when we were there at your place there. We had a little gathering go on, and yeah, it's a good time had by all, but a little too bad missed out on the sauce.
Yeah, definitely tasty there. Please go get your own bottle of Cornwell Barbecue Sauce. Link in the description down below. Family owned and partner of the series here in the American Thunder Super Speedway series. The primary sponsor, the title sponsor, and the Restart Zone sponsor as well. So do a lot for these guys here in the ATSS. So we're thankful for all that they do and for allowing these guys to come out on track and put on a show week in, week out.
Gonna get the 1 to green right there as we double up once again, and still seeing those trucks working that apron a little bit. Paul Grenoy, the chief of that whole operation down there, but a couple of guys gonna follow him on that apron, saving fuel. Interesting to see such heavy fuel saving this early on, but I mean, like I said, keep your options open for pitting later on. And of course, like we mentioned, those 2 Cornwell trucks, 1-2 on that front row, stayed out there. So their pit strategy is going to differ a little bit here. If we get a green flag run, it'll be interesting to see how they play it as opposed to the field.
Absolutely. I mean, the way these guys are running the apron, it's almost like they're trying to open up another lane down there. I think this track is wide enough for 4 and nearly 5 wide at times, but I guess these guys, or at least Paul Granada, is not content with that. So maybe we'll see some 6 wide racing tonight. Who knows?
Buddy, if we even get 4 wide without wrecking, oh man.
Well, they've tried it once already. Did not work out, but I wouldn't say it was far off from working as we come out of turn number 4. It's going to be Carter Cornwell on the inside, Randy Cornwell on the outside. On your front row here, they're going to go into the appropriately named Cornwell Barbecue Sauce Restart Zone, and we're going to go back to green flag racing through the Restart Zone here on lap number 11.
And I think that restart there for the 2 Cornwells got to be as sweet as sweet Cornwell Barbecue Sauce. So they fire off well, and we're 2x2 controlling the lanes right now as Paul Grenoy going to work the high side. He moves from the bottom to the top, and Randy Cornwell going to take the lead now off turn number 2.
You see both lines get a little bit squirrely there as they start heading down the backstretch. A lot of hard pushing going on throughout the field, really. Kind of surprising to see that they're pushing that hard, but Paul Granada kind of left on his own as Tim Averill goes down to join his sponsor, Randy Cornwell. And you see a couple of Cornwell barbecue sauce, 4 Cornwell barbecue sauce trucks linked up on that inside line. So a really good run for TI Racing and the Cornwell barbecue sauce trucks.
Yeah, you saw them try to get away from Paul Granada as quickly as they could. They're going on the backstretch, which is the correct move, mind you. But Paul Granada will slot into P4 on the bottom line there. It's going to be a 3-truck breakaway. Randy Cornwell up front, Tim Averill second, and Chris Lewis in P3. All members of TI Racing, so TI Racing able to put it together so far early in this one.
Yeah, it seems like everyone's cleaned it up a little bit. We've single filed out for the front. Of course, right as I say that, we have a couple trucks jump out there. But guys trying to be a little more cautious here early on, I think, after the 2 early incidents there.
Yeah, we see one truck jump to the outside. That is the 8 of Paul Granada, who just no one goes with. They say, oh, he dives back down to the inside, and that was very close.
Entertaining. We'll make sure to keep one eye on him, and eventually 2, and there's a different colored flag in the air. But yeah, 4th place side by side. Big push from Jesse Meyer out of the back of Chris Worrell there. Chris Worrell jumps to the outside of Carter Cornwell, sorry, for P4. Carter Cornwell a little squirrely going down the backstretch, getting some pushing from Logan Hamilton. And it is a TI Racing top 5 on the inside row, if you want to count Carter Cornwell as TI Racing affiliated. Good spot for them so far. Haven't been able to get the season that they would have hoped they would have had at this point in the year, as Full Throttle Motorsports has locked up the team championship already, but looking to kind of put a nail into the coffin here, just trying to claw back a little bit. And there comes Carter Cornwell up the track. Chris Worrell's going to go for a spin. He's going to keep it straight, but there's going to be a caution flag out on the speedway.
Really a fantastic save from both of those trucks. That was impressive for Carter Cornwell to not go around at all, and then for Worrell to spin and not hit anything was very impressive.
Yeah, it definitely could have been bigger there, as he just did quote Kyle Busch here a little bit, but just went down there, did some whirly-doos down there on the apron.
So we're going to take a look at what happened there. I believe Carter Cornwell kind of just came up into the left rear quarter panel of Chris Worrell, sent him for a loop. Yeah, unfortunately, the 18 of Cornwell comes up a little too far. Chris Worrell does a great job keeping that truck pointed in the right direction. Actually going to go take an onboard look at what the 06 of Worrell was seeing out of the front end of his race truck. Is going to be a heck of a view.
Yeah, we might get a little dizzy watching this one.
You see Worrell shoots to the outside, going to try to get next to Chris Lewis there. Doesn't quite make it work, and then gets tapped.
Yeah, definitely glad that thing stayed on the ground there. I mean, saw the back pick up a little bit when he started going backwards. But, yeah, just lanes getting a little crossed up, tapping the left rear, and that'll get you. Those guys, they did slide through the end of pit road, but their speeding penalties and whatnot have all been cleared, so they're good to continue as usual.
I mean, I was listening to the throttle control there on the 06 truck, and yeah, that was the key to making all that work and keeping that truck from doing anything, or hitting anything or hitting anyone. So keeps without any damage there due to some great driving from Chris Worrell in the 06.
And holy smokes, look out pit road, because here comes the field. I'm not sure we had anyone stay out there. So guys going to come down, get their fuel, and maybe a few guys get some tires. I think Chris Worrell definitely going to want 4 fresh Goodyear tires. Yeah, I'm not seeing anyone staying out right here.
Yeah, when you got as little fuel as these trucks do, we said I think 52% fuel capacity in these things. You just really can't afford to be hung out when it comes to fuel. If these trucks do have a green flag run where we see green flag pit stops, if you have less fuel than everybody else, you're going to be hung out to dry. You're going to lose that pack, and then your race could be all but over, really, if you get left out on your own like that. So you really just have to stay on top of the fuel game and have to make sure that you have more, if not equal to, as much fuel as everyone else in the field has.
Yeah, and so much with this super speedway racing is about that. Just staying in the mix, making sure you have your tank full and have options later on when guys do choose to pit, have people to pit with, and just keep your truck clean. It's about getting to the end. I mean, to finish, forget who the quote's from, but to finish first, you must first finish. And I think that one rings true in pretty much every race you ever run.
I think we managed to go an entire green flag run there without talking about our championship battle, so I'm going to bring that back into focus with Matthew Wood. Seems like he wants to go forward a little bit. We'll come out of the pits P6. That's the highest that they've been since the opening lap or two. So looks like Wood going to take his chances here up at the front of the field, at least temporarily. Joseph Smith still sitting back in 11th spot. So 5 positions between the 2 championship drivers, but obviously both of them in reach of the other.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a long time for our championship battle to really develop into anything that where we can really see that the finish line. We're going to have to see the actual finish line to know who's going to be champion. But only 16 laps into this 80-lap race, I think it's going to be a long time before we even really have an idea who has a better shot or who is really in the running for this championship. Those two have been pretty much even this whole time. They've been fairly close together on track. So Wood showed that pace in qualifying, that lone truck pace. I'm not sure that really translates to what we're doing here in the race, but this championship battle is going to heat up as we continue on through this race. So we haven't seen much of it yet, but I'm sure that we will be talking a lot about it when we come to these closing laps.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, not to repeat myself, but you got to get to the end first before you worry about your rivals. So those two guys definitely try to protect their trucks here early on, and so far done a great job with three incidents that really could have been more than they were. And thankfully kept their trucks clean, and we still got a battle going on here.
Yeah, it's iRacing up front, top 3, with April Lewis and Cornwell, but a familiar sight of trucks coming through the field. It's LaForte, Wood, and Steinbach, P5, 6, and 7. Full Throttle Motorsports making up more and more ground, going towards the front of the field. And Joseph Smith also in that draft on the top side with teammates LaForte and Steinbach. So Full Throttle Motorsports gradually making their way through the field and seeming like they're about ready to pounce on the leaders.
Coming off turn number 4 here, that pace truck's going to pull off once again and hopefully get a little more green flag racing here as we're down inside. It's about 63 to go as we take the green flag here.
They're going to shoot through the Cornwall Barbecue Sauce restart zone once again. Tim Abril is going to fire in that Cornwall Barbecue Sauce sponsored race truck. They're going to be back green flag racing here on lap 18. Chris Lewis is going to shoot to the bottom. Cornwall's going to get the draft as well.
Yeah, it's interesting that inside lane definitely develops early here, and wonder if we might single file out a little bit here. And big move further back right there. It goes all the way up to the wall.
That was a 98 of Steinbach who almost got in the wall there, right in front of one of your championship contenders, Joseph Smith.
Seems like those two are working together here, trying to get that outside lane moving, and a couple more guys move up there as Matthew Wood leading that outside lane.
Yeah, we see Full Throttle Motorsports, 4 trucks lined up, nose to bumper, nose to tail. So iRacing has some company coming on the outside line as we see our 2 big teams both linked up with each other and battling out for these top positions as Tim Abril throws a block.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it brewing in that caution flag there. Full Throttle Motorsports getting together. It seems like being close and being in a position to attack. Well, here's the attack. All 4 of them lined up on the outside. Would be just about 1, 2, 3, 4 if it wasn't for Tim Abril throwing a block. But yeah, every one of those Full Throttle Motorsports trucks will clear the inside line. and it's just going to be Tim Averill, the prey, Full Throttle Motorsports, the predator right now.
Yeah, unbelievable run on the outside right there. They got 5 trucks clear, had 6 trucks clear for a moment there, but 5 cleared, and they moved down to the bottom, and now they're controlling the field more or less, right behind Tim Averill.
Yeah, we've seen that time and time again this season. I mean, these super speedways it's so important to have your team working together like that where you can get those runs generated. And that is just where Full Throttle Motorsports has excelled, really. They each have an individual speed. Oh, yeah. Randy Cornwell gets sideways and saves it. But they
Caution's
spin further
going
in the
to come
back.
out there. Cornwell with a big save there, but we had another truck sideways further back in the field. Big checkup developed on the inside line there.
It's going to be Carson Kenny in the 87 truck, the culprit of the caution there. However, he did manage to keep it straight, but it seems like we'll have a caution nonetheless. As, yeah, big checkup there coming through turns 1 and 2. And it seems like Cornwell with a good save on the bottom. And, yeah, Kenny checked up, got into the back of the 34 of Clappert, and Beaver went through the back of the 87, turned him sideways, kept it straight, but sideways enough for iRacing to call the caution flag.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I think that's
thing.
one of those NASCAR cautions. You might not actually need the caution flag to be thrown, but we're going to get it thrown anyways.
And it's one of those incidents you see quite often here at Daytona where everyone kind of gets bottled up on that inside. It's a lot tighter than Talladega, where you can kind of keep it wide open in the throttle and just push the guy forward. Here at Daytona, corners a little tighter, a little bit less banking, and got to be a little more careful there in that inside lane. Just like I said, bottled up. Those guys came together, and unfortunately we had a little spin there.
I have to think for Tim Averill in the 3, that little green flag run was a massive success. It may be temporary, but showing that he can hold off a full head of steam from the entirety of your team champions. I mean, that's got to show something out of the 3 truck. So if I were him, if I were sitting in that 3 truck, I'd be pretty happy with how that run went.
Yeah, I just gotta think he's kicking himself a little bit that he's not in that championship battle, because Tim Averill, wonderful season for him, but unfortunately got knocked out earlier on in the playoffs. But so far, very good night for him.
As we're gonna see your race off of pit road. I don't think I saw exactly who won the race off there.
I think it was Matthew Wood. Not totally sure there.
Either Paul Granada or Matthew Wood there. However, I see something that Paul Granada, I believe, took 2, or didn't actually take anything there, so he'll just go through the pits and win the race off. But something I've wanted to do just about all season. We've got our race leader currently, one of the stragglers who did not come down to pit road. It's Tyler Clune, and he's been wanting us to interview him all season during one of these caution flags. So going to bring him up here into the booth, and we'll get a quick interview with the 20 truck. Hey, Tyler, this is Josh in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
What's up?
Hey, buddy. Well, you got the race lead right now. Stayed out under that caution flag. How's your race been so far?
Well, I've been a victim to the barbecue sauce by both the owner and the son. But it tends to happen when we're out here. Other than that, not too bad. Trying to make a strategy call here, stay out, hopefully catch another caution later in this fuel run. If not, I'm only a couple laps behind, so I'm not really too worried about it. So hopefully we can get it to go our way and stay out here for the rest of the race.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, how do you think staying out here is going to affect your strategy, and you think you're going to be able to hold on to that top spot here as we go green?
If not, hold on. Definitely stick within the top 3. I got some friends behind me, so I'm hoping it works in my favor. Don't want to give away all my secrets, but I'm feeling pretty good about being up here.
Awesome, man. We'll keep up the good work, and hopefully we'll see you in just over 60 laps time.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. That was Tyler Clunan taking a second to join us here in the booth. Your race leader currently. Yeah, he's been wanting an interview up here during one of these caution flags, so figured it was the perfect chance to get him in here and talk to him for a minute and hear from one of our drivers out on the racetrack. And always interesting to hear how it's like from the perspective of the guys who are actually on the track doing battle. Well, we're sitting up here just yapping about how they're doing it, but it's always good to hear how they're doing.
Yeah, it's really good to just kind of get an insight into what's going on in the drivers' heads during the race, and you can see there that he's really got something planning here. He's got something brewing, a little bit of a strategy call, and he's very confident in the decision that he's made. So, every driver is going to be confident in the decisions that they make. But the 20 truck out front, let's see if he can hold on to it.
100%. Looking once again at your championship battle, it's going to be Matthew Wood sitting in 4th. He's going to be your highest competitor with Joseph Smith back in 10th. So Wood has been able to stay in front of Smith for the majority of the night and will continue to do so. However, we are only 1/4 of the way through this race, so still a lot of racing left to go here tonight as pace car is going to pull in. It's going to be Tyler Clunan and Carter Cornwall coming into the Cornwall Barbecue Sauce restart zone. Big push from Logan Hamilton. We're going to be back green flag here on lap 24.
Yeah, not a fantastic restart from Quentin Steinbach, who kind of drops back from his Full Throttle Motorsports teammates on that outside line. So the inside line, while not really together, we got to send for three wide for the lead. That is your championship contender, Matthew Wood, going for the lead early here.
Yeah, it's super tight right there in the middle is Jace LaForte right in that middle of 3 wide now. And those guys did not leave any room between each other as they're 3 wide down the backstretch. And now a push coming from the middle lane to clear that outside lane. And 3 trucks clear of Carter Cornwell on the outside. And that Full Throttle group lined back up again.
That was absolutely fantastic. See, Matthew Wood send it up the middle there and get his teammates to follow him behind. We have iRacing lined up again on the inside a little bit with Hamilton and Averill, and then Full Throttle Motorsports. 4 trucks, nose to tail, lined up, going for the lead once again.
We just gapped the second pack here, honestly. Chris Lewis in 8th has fallen quite a bit behind those, and yeah, here comes Full Throttle Motorsports outside. Matthew Wood is going to take over the race lead.
Yeah, they're dragging each other back there with that 3 wide going on, just dumping air on each other and slowing each other down. That's more drag. But another thing to point out, the sun has gone down, the lights have come on, and that track cooling off. Going to have lots more grip out there now. And these boys are sure using it. Tim Averill, big shove right there to the back of, I believe that was Jace LaForte right there.
Yeah, and that left Tyler Clunan in the 20 truck, who we just talked to in the booth, kind of on his own there, and he's going to drop back a little bit as the pack's sort of swallowing him up. We're still 3 wide back there, but Tyler Clunan's strategy that he had not looking like it's working so far, but still a long way to go.
Feeling a lot like a deck of cards the way they're shuffling around. Is Tim Averill going to surge on the inside with help from Chris Lewis there off turn number 2. He's going to be side by side for the lead down the back straightaway in that number 3 truck.
Randy Cornwell sends it up 3 wide on Steinbach and leaves Steinbach hanging out wide. And I mean, just such aggressive moves all the way throughout the field here.
Gotta give them credit, though. Lots of control being shown right now. These guys are making these big moves, but hanging on to it so far is Averill going to jump to the outside and look for a little help from his rival team as they're going to push him around his team or around their teammate right there in Matthew Wood, and Tim Averill will lead lap 26.
Championship battle?
Big checkup.
What championship battle? They don't care. Tim Averill's going for the win. Throws a block and goes around Matthew Wood. But yeah, field checking up just slightly here as everyone sort of files in 2x2. There was a bit of chaos with all the 3 wide. Another block from Tim Averill. Chase LaForte will just say I'll go under you. And big contact. It's going to be April on the outside wall. Huge wreck in front of the field. Oh.
Oh my goodness. Paul Granat involved, Jace Lafort, Chris Lewis. Several trucks involved. Jesse Meyer, Tyler Clunan.
That is the big one. Let's get an instant replay. So we are going down the backstretch here. Tim Averill throws a block up top. Lafort goes underneath of him. And I'm not sure what happens there. It seems like they just come together, and there goes everyone. Joseph Smith gonna get involved a little bit. Not a ton of damage on that 31, I don't think. So, fortunately, both of our championship contenders are gonna be able to keep going without any damage.
Yeah, Joseph Smith got away with one right there. Sorry.
Yeah, he had a ton of. I was just going to say the exact same thing you did. He had a ton of close calls throughout that entire wreck, and I mean, just Worrell almost took him out after the wreck was almost already over. Just Joseph Smith probably very lucky to be still in this race. And then just to look back, we see that Averill and Lafort kind of at the forefront of that accident, and not sure if everybody remembers, but 2 weeks in a row, the past 2 weeks, we've seen a little bit of drama between those two trucks in particular. Looking back to Atlanta, we had Lafort blocking Averill a little bit and kind of single-handedly taking him out of playoff contention. And then last week at Nashville, those two trucks were really involved in the only wreck that we had all night, as both trucks were taken out in a huge incident. And now, once again, 3 weeks in a row, we see a little bit of drama between those two trucks.
Yeah, pit road sure be busy here as we see. It looks like every single truck is going to come down pit road, and those virtual pit crews going to get to work on some of the damage repair or fueling up the guys who managed to make it through there. Saw a couple hard impacts, but I think everyone should be okay to continue. I didn't see anyone hit super hard blown motor type incident. So Matthew Wood going to lead him off here, it looks like, and looks like I think everyone's going to be okay after that, somehow, some way. That was a big incident. That could have been a lot bigger.
I know that Lafort ended up taking a tow back to pit road, and then Tyler Clunan had a very hard hit. I think Clunan had the hardest hit of all of the trucks involved in that wreck, and then Paul Granata also had a hard hit. So there was a couple of trucks that we'll have to take a couple of minutes on pit road to get everything fixed up. But like you said, I'm not sure that anybody has that meatball flag that takes them out of the race. No blown motors, anything like that.
For now.
Goodness me, the meatball flag gives me PTSD. I mean, I got knocked out of a race last night, last night, and had a meatball, took my optional repair, but wasn't enough. It still wanted me to serve the meatball, so had to take a fast repair. And of course, no fast repairs here in the American Thunder Superspeedway series.
For anyone who's not familiar with terminology, because we just threw a couple at you, a meatball flag is a flag with it's a black flag with a big orange circle in the middle that kind of looks like a meatball, and it's given out when a truck has too much damage to be on the track in a competitive fashion. So iRacing will give a driver the black and orange flag, commonly known as the meatball flag, when they have a ton of damage, and they'll have to get that damage fixed before returning to the race. And a fast repair, not something we see in this series here, but essentially it's almost like a free ticket of sorts of get all your damage fixed and just
reset.
Yeah, pretty much just a reset. You know, you fix all your damage with a click of a button. You get one of those per race. If you in some other series we see here on the iRacing platform, but none here in the American Thunder Superspeedway series. So any damage these guys get is going to have to be fixed organically.
Yeah, and that's definitely one thing that's made me nervous with these championship contenders. They don't have that luxury of the fast repair, so they definitely have to take care of themselves out here and, make sure they have something to race with at the end.
So if my scoring, my timing and scoring is correct, Jace Lafort Tyler Clunan, Jesse Meyer all still in pit lane. I believe Meyer was in that incident with Clunan there as they both hit the wall quite hard. So Clunan took the biggest hit there, but Meyer was right next to him going into the wall as well. So a lot of damage for that 14 truck as well, unfortunately. So what might be the end of those 3 trucks' nights.
Yeah, Clunan has actually disconnected from the session, so Clunan done for the night. The 14 and the 9 will go a lap down, but we might see them back on track as they are still in the session, but Clunan is done.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing here, and Matthew Wood actually comes out as the leader. He's in that championship battle head-to-head, and he leads with Joseph Smith on the inside lane behind him 4 rows back, 5 rows back. I'm not sure how you count that. He's back there in 11th place, starting on that inside, so it'll be interesting to see how this restart goes here as we come off turn number 4 once again and give it another go.
Yeah, 5 rows separating Matthew Wood and championship rival Joseph Smith as they're 1 and 11 as the pace truck pulls down a pit road. They're going to go through the Cornwell barbecue sauce restart zone once again. Matthew Wood's going to get a nice jump on this restart. We're going to go back. Green flag racing here again on lap 31.
Yeah, getting that 50 laps to go range, so maybe just on the edge of 1 more pit stop, likely 2 more. And they're going to single file out a little bit, but a big move to the inside. That's the 22 truck going to make a big move. That's Randy Cornwell. He looks like he wanted that lead, but he's going to get dragged back by the side draft there, and it's going to be Matthew Wood leading him off turn 2 and down the back straightaway.
1 truck under the apron there. He'll collect it back up, but it's going to be Matthew Wood with a big push from teammate Quentin Steinbach. They're almost going to clear. Wood definitely clears, but Steinbach will get held up next to Randy Cornwell. So, yeah, Matthew Wood's going to be able to pull Steinbach up once again, try to get both of them clear, but only those 2 Full Throttle Motorsports trucks able to work together up in the front as Smith is still behind from the restart and LaFord is still in pit road.
Yeah, these guys are moving around a lot left to right. Not sure what the handling's like out there, but I assumed it'd be a lot smoother, but these guys seem to not be able to line up and get going. They're back and forth quite a lot down these straights.
It's going to be Full Throttle Motorsports sitting in 1 and 2. Able to hold off Chris Lewis as Lewis and Hamilton, both on TI Racing, coming right behind those 2 on the outside line. Looking to pick up some spots as well. It's going to be Brian Kenny and Randy Cornwell on the inside line. Not able to make up as much ground as they would be hoping to right now.
Yeah, it seems like we've calmed down a little bit. Of course, as I say that, they start shuffling back and forth again. But, truck in the wall there further back. I think that was Tim Averill.
Tim
Yeah,
Averill.
it was.
Oh, that's a night done there, I believe. That's a tire gone.
Yeah, Tim Averill and Carter Cornwell got it together, and Tim Averill just kind of turned up into the fence. They were close enough to the fence where it didn't let him go all the way around, but we'll see a replay here of exactly what I'm talking about. Just got together, and you'll see Tim Averill here in a second. Just that right front will go into the wall. There's the contact, right front of the wall. Tim Averill, tire knocked off. Carter Cornwell checking up, and I don't know if he just didn't want to pass him back or what happened there, but Tim Averill, you have to expect coming to pit road here.
The inside, and he's got help from Logan Hamilton in that 44 truck, and looks like we might go 2x2 for the lead. 3 wide further on back there. Henry Clapper working the outside. Lots of action going on out here at Daytona.
Yeah, we're strung out a little bit.
Big shove on the high side. Lots of momentum. Clapper's going to go low, and he's going to fill that 3rd spot there on the inside, 3rd row. And that inside lane's going to prevail, it looks like. And Logan Hamilton going to get clear in that 2nd row, and they're going to take the lead. Chris Lewis coming back to lead lap 34.
Oh. How about that? I think we just had a connection issue there. Hopefully we're back.
All good on my end.
Check the stream real quick. Yeah, I got an OBS disconnection there, but it seems like we're back in action. Apologies for that. Should have only been a couple seconds there that we missed out on. Chris Lewis still in your race lead, taken over from the Full Throttle Motorsports guys. Logan Hamilton pushing him in second. Paul Granato's going to shoot to third place as he gets around Full Throttle Motorsports.
Yeah, how about that gap that Hamilton and Lewis managed to create? But Paul Granata going to jump to the outside and try to work that outside lane. He's going to have a little bit of help there and might challenge Chris Lewis coming back to the line here. But Lewis looks like... Whoa! Paul Granata going to pull ahead just before the line. He'll lead that lap right there. Tight racing up front.
That is exactly what we were talking about with the 8 truck of Paul Granata being aggressive. He is not afraid to make moves to get to the front of the field no matter what. You saw him changing lines, taking every run that was given to him, and all the way to the front here. He will now lead us on lap 36, and he's getting strung out there pretty far with your playoff contender Wood behind him. So a good run for Paul Granata here on the high side, and they're getting linked up pretty good there, continuing the run.
Yeah, on the other hand, playing devil's advocate here, Paul Granata has shown a lot of speed, and it seems like everyone's noticed as he's got guys willing to work with him. Matthew Wood pushing him on the outside right now, and he's going to come back to lead this lap, and Matthew Wood looks like he'll get clear as well. But Paul Granata showing off, ruffling some feathers, but showing his speed and showing that he's worthy of a push, and might be someone to work with toward the end. Is Cornwell going to go 3 wide up the middle? Oh! Almost contact right there, but 3 wide coming off turn number 2.
And Cornwell's sticking his nose through the middle, 3 wide. And it seems like Chris Worrell's going to make a move to the bottom. Granata will go to block. I know Jace Laforte's nickname is, he's affectionately known as Havoc. If we applied the same logic to Paul Granata, I'd consider Paul a bit of chaos. So... showing it off here, but yeah, guys are willing to work with him. This is his first start in the American Thunder Super Speedway Series. 1 season ago at this point, he was in the booth with us commentating. Now finds himself on the racetrack, picked up a ride in the 08 truck there as Matthew was going to shoot to the bottom of him as we're going to have a bit of a crash behind. A couple trucks involved. Seems like Carson Kenny, Brian Kenny, and Randy Cornwell. Bit of an issue there. I believe Brian Kenny has lost a wheel. Same deal as Tim Averill, but will stay green.
Yeah, the field's a little strung out here.
And I look at a quick
Paul Granata
replay.
working with Matthew Wood on that outside.
Looking at a replay. And yeah, almost identical to the incident that happened between Carter Cornwell and Tim Averill, but this time it's Randy Cornwell and Brian Kenny. So likely a day done for the 11 truck as well. Tough to see this early in the race.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, pretty much identical, like you said. Oh, big race off turn number 2 here as Paul Granata gets a big shove from Chris Lewis. And they're going to be side by side. Big pushes coming on the outside now as they're all locked up together. And Matthew Wood going to clear for the lead.
Wood getting a good push from Worrell and teammate/championship rival Joseph Smith, as well as the other Full Throttle Motorsports driver, Quentin Steinbach, also there on the outside. Check it up! Huge crash! Joseph Smith's involved!
Chris Lewis got turned sideways getting off turn 4. I think the weight came off the rear and, you get loose right there. But, oh, man, Joseph Smith looks like he might be done.
Oh, man.
Unbelievable.
Not what you want to see. We're just hit halfway through this race. A lot of damage on that 31 truck, and that might be a tire done and a race done and a championship done for the 31 truck.
Absolutely hate to see that there. You'll see it on the replay. They started getting loose, and Chris Lewis, I think, got the push from Logan Hamilton there. And that's where it all went south is, yeah, you see him come down the track and back up, and it was just on from there.
Such a shame. Again, too early in the race to be seeing this kind of stuff happening, especially in a pack that honestly wasn't that big. We'll get a look from the cockpit of Logan Hamilton here. See what he could have seen there, as pushing hard on the back bumper of Lewis, and just clips him and goes for a ride into the outside wall.
Yeah, just absolutely hate to see that for Joseph Smith. And Chris Lewis, of course. I mean, everyone's racing for something out here.
Coming around to come to pit road, and Joseph Smith just has a ton of front end damage. We're seeing that he still has both front tires connected, but a lot of damage that I'm not
gonna
sure
have to interrupt you right there. It's on my end showing Joseph Smith received meatball flag.
Meatball flag for Joseph Smith. That is wow.
Yeah, just hate to see that. I appreciate the optimism from Tyler there, absolutely. But pit road busy once again. A couple of guys going to be repairing some damage and filling up full of fuel as we cross the halfway mark here.
So we'll take a look at Joseph Smith to see if he is going to be able to get any of that damage fixed.
He's saying too much damage.
Oh,
Too much
that's
damage on the
brutal.
31.
Not a fan of that on iRacing, and unfortunately, it's going to bite him right there.
Well, one side of the coin has been decided, which means the other side of the coin has also been decided. Matthew Wood in the 16 is going to be your champion here tonight in the American Thunder Superspeedway Series.
Yeah, I'm sure not the way he would have wanted it to end, but he's got to be happy with the result. He's been arguably the best driver all season long, and he very much deserved it. He's been at the front for most of this race, even falling back a couple of times through pit stops. He's driven back to the front. But Matthew Wood, despite the way that this championship ended, very much a deserving champion, and just congratulations to him. A great season for the 16, and your champion, Matthew Wood.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say it enough. Not the way you want that to go down, but Matthew Wood, incredible driver all season, definitely worthy of the championship. Like, just absolutely a threat to win every single night we put on the race, and ends up coming out on top here the way things stand. But so many great performances, and of course that Full Throttle Motorsports team, all of them very, very good drivers, and he's going to be the best of them, it looks like, tonight.
Absolutely. Heck of a season for Matthew Wood. The way that this championship battle is going to end is as sour as it is, unfortunately. It's definitely a deserving championship for Matthew Wood, and hopefully it doesn't put a stain on that or anything about this season, because Matthew Wood honestly has been just about flawless. I mean, the guy has won multiple races this year. He's done absolutely everything right, been a factor in literally every single race we've watched out of this season, and it's a great championship here for Matthew Wood. It's a deserving one. It's a great way to wrap up the season for the 16, but you got to think about the heartbreak on the other side of the camp with Joseph Smith being done way too early.
Yeah, and absolutely have to give Joseph Smith his flowers here. I mean, he put on a hell of a show all season long. He was right there with Matthew Wood every single race. Those guys put on an absolutely amazing show. I mean, two great drivers in the series, and I mean, the guys they had to beat to even get to this moment. Unfortunate for it to end that way, but Joseph Smith, hell of a drive for him as well throughout the season, and I mean, I hate to minimize it, but with all that, we still got 40 laps to go here, boys.
Yeah, 12 trucks still left in this race, 11 on the lead lap. Let's take a quick look through your mid-race info before we go back green flag racing here. 41 laps complete of the 80 scheduled here tonight. 6 cautions for 15 caution laps. 18 trucks still in the session. However, a lot of those either out with damage or still on pit road. 12 on track. 13 lead changes tonight, and an average lap time of exactly 50 seconds so far. As we're going to see the pace truck dive to the inside once again here. It's going to be Logan Hamilton, Chris Worrell coming through the Cornwall Barbecue Sauce restart zone once again to go back green flag racing.
Yeah, Logan Hamilton, he's had a hell of a season, and he's back out front once again. Looking a little further back, that green truck and that red truck on the outside lane, that's Henry Clapper, Paul Granada. And those two are lined up right now. Might be worth watching here, as those two, well, they're a little separated right now, but they might get lined up, try and make something happen here.
What I'm looking at back in this pack here is the 34 truck getting linked up with the 8 truck. Henry Clapper and Paul Granada, I think, can work together very well to make their way to the front of this field. So look out for those 2 trucks, nose to tail, behind Chris Worrell, who is now your race leader.
Worrell with
I don't want to give Paul
good push.
Sorry, I don't want to give Paul too much trouble there, but he actually showed some patience there following in line there. He didn't jump 3 wide.
It's going to be Logan
ahead,
Hamilton up front as your race leader. Takes it back from Worrell. Both lines pushing very well. Matthew Wood, a great pusher on the bottom. Able to keep Logan Hamilton in the 44 up front. Chris Worrell, though, looking to get in front of him on the outside there. They have been side by side now for a full lap and look like they're not going to end that anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, we're a long ways from it right now, but these guys lock bumpers. That overheating can become a factor, and I think you might see one of these guys try to jump out of line if they start getting that flashing red on their dashboard. And oh, we see the 06 pull down on the inside right there, and he's going to take the lead away. That's Chris Worrell.
Worrell will go to the point. Someone I would like to give a shout out to is sitting back in P7. It's Aaron Beaver. We haven't talked about him all night, but as the field has weeded itself out, he's managed to stay out of the carnage, stay out of the wrecks, and looks like he'll have a shot at the win here tonight. So is sitting in a good spot after halfway through the race, and looking to gain a couple more spots to get himself a good finish.
Yeah, pretty good trio on that outside lane, and I think they, not quite going to get up to that leader there. A big push from Logan Hamilton on the inside to Worrell, and they're going to clear, or stay clear, at least for Worrell there. But that outside lane is definitely surging, and Clapper, Granada, and Cornwell all working together quite well here, and the outside lane developing a little bit, and big block, block right there by Worrell. Going to block that outside lane, and looks like he might pull back down on the inside. Granada going to get to the outside. Go for the lead right here.
Yeah, big push from Clapper in the 34. Worrell's going to go to the sucker hole. They're going to clear. Front 2 are going to clear. Logan Hamilton will come to 3rd place. And going to give a push to the back bumper, the 34. Great move from those top 2 trucks as they go to the lead and 2nd. Full Throttle Motorsports in 4th and 5th, also working together to try to get back up to those front 3 trucks, as it's a 3-truck breakaway at the moment.
Yeah, and you just hate to see that for Worrell. I mean, could have been a lot worse. Oh, big move by Matthew Wood. They jumped to the outside, those 2 Full Throttle Motorsports trucks. As I was saying, hate to see that for Worrell, though. He falls back there, but I think he'll shuffle back forward. Thankfully, the pack not as big, so he'll be able to get back in the game here pretty quickly. But unfortunately, goes from the lead to back there and looks like 7th place. Is Paul Granada leading laps here at Daytona.
It seems like the field very, very calm at the moment, as a couple 2 wide battles as Granada goes and throws a block on the 44. Big push from the 44. Not quite even. They're going to almost go 3 wide. Very close. We went from very calm to very sketchy in a matter of seconds there, as Granada throws a big block on the 44 of Hamilton. Matthew Wood doesn't like that and almost makes it 3 wide and takes out all of them. But we stay green, we stay straight, as these guys
Here comes
racing
Hamilton.
each other well. Hamilton will go to the inside and take the lead from Granada.
Yeah, I don't know how Hamilton and Wood did not wreck there. Just with how netcode and iRacing works most of the time. I mean, those 2 trucks were as close as you can possibly get without touching, and somehow kept it together. 9 times out of 10, netcode takes over there and those trucks go around, but somehow they managed to avoid disaster on the back straightaway. And all of them remain racing. We've got a great race for the lead up here, 2x2, 4 trucks deep.
Yeah, I know earlier in the season we talked about treats and how great the racing was, but we're in for a treat right now. Look at these guys that are racing. Matthew Wood takes the lead, but then Granada going to search to the inside. Another side-by-side. Granada doesn't have his pushing partner in Henry Clappert. They're going to be 2x2x2 coming back to the flag here, or coming back to the line, rather. And we're looking at 32 laps to go here at Daytona. One more pit stop for sure in store.
Wood holds on to the lead as he's going to get tapped. Oh, that's going to be... Still save it? Somehow keep it green. What a save.
He would tag the wall, but I think he's okay. He's still got speed. He's still got momentum, and that shuffles the field up quite a bit. But how did they keep that straight?
And Henry Clappert will inherit the lead out of all of that as Worrell makes a move to the outside now.
Yeah, I believe that incident there was caused Granada went to the bottom, Wood went to block, and seemed like it was maybe a little too late as a slightest of context there. Split them both, one under the apron, one into the outside wall, but we stay racing somehow, some way, as Clappert's going to lead a lap, Cornwell the second, Worrell the third.
Yeah, credit to Granada and to Wood there for hanging on to it. Both of them had a massive moment right there. Don't know how they kept it straight, but they're straight. They're going. They're back in the pack. We're still racing here, boys. Here comes Cornwell on the outside. Help from Logan Hamilton.
Granada shuffled out there.
Yeah, he's all over the place. Oh, big move from Randy Cornwell. Goes to block Quentin Steinbach. There's still 30-plus laps left, guys. Calm it down. Logan Hamilton.
Motorsports up the middle.
It looks like Hamilton to the bottom, full throttle to the middle. As, yeah, I mean, 10 trucks in this lead pack with Lucian Thompson on the lead lap, but 26 seconds back. These guys are racing like it's the last lap. There's still 30 to go.
I have to imagine that's a side effect of this playoff battle being locked up. Like there are no more playoff implications. There are no more battles to be had except for this race win. So all of these drivers really capable of throwing caution to the wind. And as they do that, big crash.
Hamilton, Clappert, and I believe that was
Steinbach.
Wood involved. Steinbach involved on the outside. 3 trucks get together off turn number 2. They push gone wrong right there. I don't think anyone hit too hard other than Steinbach. Have a look at the replay.
Yeah, I don't think that was as bad as it could have been, as contact off of turn number 2, and Steinbach looks like he loses it, clips the outside wall. Hamilton goes around. Clappert goes around to the bottom. He'll keep it off the inside wall. As, yeah, I believe everyone's okay.
Yeah, Steinbach might have a little bit of damage, but not enough to get that meatball flag that we were talking about, that orange and black flag, but should have enough to where he can fix it up a little bit and come back out and be competitive. But
yeah, at first glance, I thought Steinbach hit it head on, but looks like he got away with one there. Have another look.
I don't know if we follow Henry Clapper here, but he gets pretty much as close as you can get to that inside wall without actually hitting it. He gets it checked up just in time.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he had it locked down and just really praying at that point. There's nothing you can do once you start that slide. So fantastic for him to keep it off of that inside wall. And I think we're going to keep all of these trucks in this race, and we'll actually bring the 61 of Lucian Thompson back to the lead pack. So we're going to gain another truck in this fight that has been fantastic since we went back green the last time.
Actually, I believe we're going to gain 2 trucks as Carter Cornwell will go back on the lead lap, I believe, after this. He was sitting 1 lap down, so in theory should get the lucky dog this time by. So might have 12 trucks back into this lead battle.
Yeah, and if not, looks like he's going to get the wave around his pit road busy once again. These guys right on the edge of that final pit stop. They can't make it from here. Or, well, realistically cannot make it from this point on fuel. So another stop to come, but this will make that final fuel stop shorter if they get the tank full. Less fuel that they have to dump into the rear of those Chevy, Ford, Toyota, and Ram trucks.
Wood misses his box again. It's going to be Chris Worrell first truck out. Randy Cornwell will go to second. Aaron Beaver to third. Like I mentioned with Aaron Beaver, he didn't talk about him much all night, but avoids all the carnage. I'm sure he probably still has 0 incidents on this race and finds himself in P3 with probably around 25 to go on the restart.
Oh man, Daytona always brings out the excitement. You know, you get under the lights like this and shows on.
Yeah, I mean, it's a picturesque setting we have here with lights out, or lights on under the Daytona nighttime sky. It's quite a beautiful racetrack, quite a beautiful scenery down here in Florida. Is there in Daytona Beach? Take a look at the track info. Track length 2.5 miles, as we discussed. Running the oval layout, 4 turns, and just above sea level as we are on the beach at 36.5 feet. So, yeah, I'm sure whoever wins this one might be able to run over to the beach and go take a dive into the ocean after this
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Noah Gragson, Cup Series driver, always joked that he'd jump in Lake Lloyd there on the backstretch if he won. Um, Unfortunately, he only won the one time here, as far as I remember. But have you guys ever been to Daytona? It's such a beautiful racetrack.
I've been to Daytona multiple times. I've only been to one race. I've been to the track a couple of times, but I went to the road course cup race in 2020. That's the only time I've
Oh
seen a
yeah.
race at Daytona International.
Yeah, unfortunately, as someone who resides over 20 hours away, it's a bit of a hike for me. So, uh, not a drive I've ever made. So, hopefully, gonna try to get down here sometime soon. Though it seems always like a beautiful racetrack on the television, and love to experience it in person.
Yeah, absolutely electric atmosphere. And the two times I've been, actually, the president of the United States has been in attendance, and that Air Force One airplane comes, lands down that back straightaway pretty much, and it's just so cool. And you see the Thunderbirds do their flyover and everything. It's all the pomp and circumstance. It's really, truly such a cathedral of racing.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but the one race that I went to just happened to take place in August due to that COVID schedule that they had going on. Uh, Daytona in August is not the
It's hot.
coolest place on the planet. So watching the truck race and the cup race in the same day got pretty brutal there, but stuck it out and saw some fantastic racing. And never been to an oval race here, never on the traditional layout. So hopefully I'll get to go to one of those one day. But road course racing, pretty cool on its own right, and got to see something special that had never been done, I believe, to that point in NASCAR. Those cars running the road layout.
We'll take a second here to look at under the caution at the laps led tracker. Is you see your top four in laps led. Matthew Wood with the most dominance so far with 13 laps. Granada with 12. Both of those have been the two that we've seen up front most often in this one. Abril with 6, as well as Randy Cornwell with 6. So those four have been able to go up front, lead quite a bit of laps tonight. It's going to be Chris Worrell and Randy Cornwell going through the Cornwell Barbecue Sauce restart zone here to take the green flag back again on lap 55.
Yeah, and if that last little green flag run was anything to go off of, we're gonna get some incredible rate. Oh, big move by. Oh man, Chris Lewis further back in the pack there. It was big blocks and more big blocks. This guy's trying to get lined up, and the battle for the lead is on, as well as Logan Hamilton looks to the outside of Randy Cornwell. And unfortunately, Worrell shuffled back again.
It seems like the team games at this point are kind of null and void, as
Oh,
it doesn't seem to matter whose team you're on or what you're doing with them. It seems like it's everyone for themselves right about now with 25 laps to go. We're going to see Granada to the outside of 3 wide on Steinbach and Worrell, as well as Cornwell now, too. He's going to help from 34 up top. Cornwell's going to shoot down
Cornwell.
to the apron. He's going to hit pit road. Not sure what for.
I wonder if it was restart violation. He did seem to get quite the start there. Not sure about that. But here goes Granada to the lead with help of Henry Clapper, and those two have just absolutely created a gap, though. It's unbelievable the way those two have worked together here so far tonight, and I think those two are ones to watch as we go down the stretch here.
Yeah, I think something that this almost once forces me to bring up is the amount of temperature how much you're going to deal with temperature as you're in the second truck there with Clappert. I'm sure he's dealing with pushing Granada as much as he is. The temperature is going to be skyrocketing on that 34 truck. As Steinbach having none of Granada's block, he's going to shoot to the outside 3 wide, and he'll go up and take the race lead with a big push from Matthew Wood in second.
Yeah, one important thing to say about Granada's aggressiveness is that if you have someone like that who's willing to pretty much say, yeah, how about it, and take you 3 wide, that'll happen like that. Granada tried to make that block, and like you said, Steinbach having none of it, and he's going to take the lead. He's got help from a teammate and Matthew Wood there, but Granada going to dive to the inside here again, and we're going to have a battle for the lead once again in 3 and 4.
Down to 7 trucks. Huge push from Hamilton into Clappert into Granada. Big block from Granada. He doesn't want 3 wide. It's going to go 3 wide. A little bit of contact. Heck of a show up front as we're going to cross the line. I don't even know who got it that time by. But down to 7 trucks in this lead pack. You wouldn't know it because these guys are putting on a show.
Yeah, I'm afraid Granada may have made some enemies with some of the shenanigans there, but he's going to fall in line at the rear and keep on going forward. Meanwhile, Clappert going to move to the lead. Not quite enough. Steinbach going to hang on his outside, and we're going to be 2 by 2 by 2 down the back straightaway.
It's going to be Hamilton and Beaver pushing the 34. Wood and Worrell pushing the 98. Granada, a bit of a wild card, going to try to shoot through the middle and now go to the outside. As that aggression ramping up as we come towards the latter half of the race here, as still side by side for the race lead. Almost going to be some contact going through the tri-oval there as Clappert and Steinbach still side by side.
Yeah, just as Jay had mentioned a couple laps ago, that when Granada sent it 3 wide and Steinbach sent it 3 wide, Granada maybe gaining a couple of enemies here, but unfortunately, I think he might thrive off of that. I think the more enemies he has on the racetrack, the faster that truck goes. So they might need to continue to watch out for the 8 truck as he gets this run coming back.
Big block from the 98 on Clappert. Steinbach is going to block for the lead. He'll get up front here, though, is a good move, as unfortunately he'll kind of ditch his teammate in Matthew Wood. But and now Clappert will go up and block the 16. A very tight block there, but was clear. As 44 of Logan Hamilton, that leaves the line way open for him, as the 44 is going to shoot up. Now they're going to go 3 wide for third.
I'm gritting my teeth every time they come off turn number 4. They're just left, right, block high, block low. They're all over. Is Logan Hamilton going to take the lead away? Looks like we might calm down a little bit, as he's going to get a shove and going to clear row 2 and maybe even row 3 with Clapper in third place, that 97 truck as well. That's Aaron Beaver, who you mentioned earlier. Good run for him so far, as he's made his way up toward the front, and he's running P2 right now.
Yeah, Beaver proving me right that he's looking at a good finish here. Got through the early portions of this race, finds himself in second, and with a massive gap on the field all of a sudden, as heck of a push from the 97. It's going to be almost half a second on the rest of that 7-truck main pack there. As unfortunately, they're going to obviously get the draft to get back up to him, but heck of a push for Aaron Beaver for a little bit there.
Oh, nearly a moment with Paul Granada and the 98 of Quinn Steinbach there, as Steinbach was trying to get down, and I think he just tapped that right rear quarter panel of that number 8 truck. And thankfully no incident there, but here comes that run you talked about, and Granada going to look to the high side. Oh, he's going to file back in line. This might stack him up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, with the amount of times I've heard Granada into Steinbach, I think if I was Steinbach, I might be about one more move away from escorting Paul Granada's front end into the outside wall. But Logan Hamilton's going to go up and block Clappert. Clappert's going to look back low. Steinbach's going to stay to the top side, help out Hamilton. He's going to get help from his teammate in Wood. Beaver's going to be on the bottom. Granada's going to look to the outside with them as well, and Worrell's just at the back of the field.
I need a seatbelt down, strapped, or I'm on the edge of my seat. I can't even sit still right now. This is unbelievable racing. Steinbach going to leave Hamilton. He's going to go to the outside. He's got help from Matthew Wood, and he's going to take the lead away, getting into turn number 3.
I think it is no debate at this point that this race has been just about as spicy as Cornwall barbecue sauce spicy flavor, as Lucian Thompson looks like he's going to go a lap down. Unfortunately, that 61 has a good bit of damage, sits right in front of the field. Looks like it's in the left front mainly. Probably has knocked some horsepower off of that thing, maybe a cylinder gone, but still making laps, running inside of the top 10. Not a bad night for the 61.
This should be
Yeah, we're
interesting
down
as Paul Granada is coming up on the inside just as they catch the 61.
Oh,
Big
Big
check
lift
up
there.
there. As Full Throttle Motorsports is Quentin Steinbach, Matthew Wood going to go up to the point now. No one contesting them on the inside, but Hamilton's going to change that quite quickly. He's going to get a push from Aaron Beaver. Chris Worrell's going to go to their outside, and now it's down to 5 trucks temporarily.
yeah, these guys, like I said earlier, shuffling like a deck of cards. It's one guy to the front, one guy to the back, and you look away, you look back, and it's all flipped again here as they work their way around the 18 truck per Cornwell going a lap down right there.
Oh, he's
Little
all
sketchy.
over the place.
Not what you want to see her lap traffic, and looks like they're going to get through okay, but oh my goodness.
Yeah, some went low, some went high, and everyone does get around
Oh, no.
almost. Oh, there it is. It's going to be Chris Worrell into the back bumper of Carter Cornwell. Cornwell will go around, bring out the yellow flag. My goodness.
It felt like a matter of time the way they caught Carter Cornwell right there, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think we see Worrell he's the one that really gets hung out by them having to split him like they did. And I think maybe a little bit of frustration from the 06 and just turning the 18 truck around out of frustration, I think, here.
Yeah, we're going to see. They go to the outside, Full Throttle does, and Cornwell will go up. So Hamilton and Beaver go to the bottom. They get around. Cornwell will stay in the middle, and then he's kind of going to go up high and push Worrell up to the top. They'll go 3 wide, and then Cornwell kind of came up and got into the front bumper of Chris Worrell. Worrell kind of gets loose and has nowhere to go. I don't think that was anywhere near intentional or frustration. I think that was just circumstantial there.
Yeah, I saw that the first time around. I had thought that the first contact was the one that sent Cornwell around, but the first contact is Cornwell getting into the side of the 06 and putting him into the fence as he drives up the racetrack here. So contact initiated by the 18 truck.
Yeah, going to be a tough deal for both of them. The one it's not going to be a tough deal for is the one in the back of the frame, 61 of Lucian Thompson. Going to take the opportunity to go back to the lead lap as he'll get the lucky dog. Unfortunately for Randy Cornwell, Cornwell won't get the chance to get his lap back, at least not yet. So we'll see 10 trucks back on the lead lap.
Yeah, and pit road going to be busy right here as we see these guys come down. This should be the final fuel stop. They should be able to make it easily on fuel from here, which means that winner of the race off pit road probably going to restart in the lead and control this thing. Let's have a look.
Absolutely, and Steinbach now misses his boxes. Those two up front have seemed to have trouble hitting their marks there. It's going to be Wood off the pit road first, Hamilton second, Beaver third, Granada fourth, Clappert fifth, Steinbach sixth. I'm sure Worrell will come out next, as this also gives Chris Lewis and Carson Kenny the chance to get back with that lead pack. They both lost a good bit of ground there. But now with the caution flag, this will reintroduce a couple of those trucks back to the lead pack.
Yeah, coming into tonight, a lot of the talk was the championship battle, and unfortunately that's kind of gone by the wayside with Joseph Smith getting caught in that wreck earlier on. But it seems like Matthew Wood wants to put an exclamation mark on his championship, go for the win here tonight, because he's right there. He's in the mix, and winning the race off pit road right there, he's going to have a shot at the win right now.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, why not? If you're Matthew Wood, why not? The guy has been the best all season. As proof by the championship, is shown that he can win on any types of tracks that we go to. whether that's Nashville or Daytona or really anything. He's always got a shot, and seems like he wants to get one more here tonight to, if not for himself, for his team, as they have both the drivers and the team championship there, Full Throttle Motorsports, with a spectacular season this year. Just being able to dominate the entire American Thunder Super Speedway Series, as they're going to come back to, I believe, 1 to go on the restart. This should be pace cars lights out, as they are, and we're going to line up with 1 till the restart.
Yeah, we're going to be looking at 13 to go when we take the green flag here, so not quite in that last gasp territory, but getting close to it, coming down to the end here, and I think the aggression's been high all night long, honestly, but might even get turned up another notch higher as we get down to the end. It's going to be Matthew Wood and Logan Hamilton on the front row. Those two have been strong all year, or all season rather, and they're looking to finish off, maybe bookend the season a little bit here.
For sure. Let's take a look at your mid-race info once again here with 13 laps to go at the green flag. We are 66 laps down of the 80 on the schedule for tonight. 8 cautions, 18 caution laps completed, 18 trucks still in the session. Those who have wrecked out seem like they want to watch the end of this thing, and I don't blame them. This thing's been an absolute blast to watch here, as ton of lead battling, as we see the 26 lead changes, and average lap time has gone up only slightly to a 50.05, so being consistent here throughout the night.
Yeah, 26 lead changes, that's virtually, well, I mean, I'll just say it outright, that's unbelievable. I mean, average race here at Daytona usually has maybe like 40 or so during the Cup race, Daytona 500. This race, less than half the length, and we've had so many lead changes. That's incredible.
For sure, and I'm sure it's not going to stop there. Pace truck pulls down. We're going to go through the Cornwall Barbecue Sauce restart zone once again. Matthew Wood going to get a good jump. Logan Hamilton's going to slot into second. Aaron Beaver going to be the beneficiary there in third. Going to get help on the inside from those first two, as we're back green flag racing once again.
A little mixed up here in the pack as that bottom lane kind of lined up, but we also see, Clapper can't go around. Can he hang on? Oh, yes, it looks like he will, and we'll keep it green. Oh! Green flag still in the air right now. Clapper down below that double yellow line, and the battle for the lead rages on as they're bumper to bumper to bumper right now.
Unfortunate
Matthew Wood in the lead.
Unfortunate for Clapper to that 34. Going to need to rely on a yellow flag here, as he's dropped way behind the field. But it seems like we're down to a 6-truck pack. Once again, it's going to be Wood, Hamilton, Beaver, Worrell, Granada, and Steinbach up in that lead pack. The others seem like they are content holding on and not quite battling as hard as these guys are up front, as Worrell and Granada are going to shoot to the outside.
Yeah, Worrell wants some here. He's been shuffled back multiple times here tonight, but he's working that outside lane with the help of Paul Granada. Logan Hamilton going to come up, block that run, and it looks like Wood going to block Hamilton now as they get off into turn number 3. 4 straight in line. 5 of them. Back through the line, Matthew Wood leading the way for the field. Chris Worrell on his back bumper. Behind him, Paul Granada in that outside lane. And looks like they're going to rip the fence here. They're going to run that high side with 11 laps to go.
It seems like those 4 up front now are going to gap the field, as it's going to be Matthew Wood up front, as Quentin Steinbach and Paul Granada once again find each other, and I can only anticipate on how that's going to go. Worrell's going to shoot to the inside. Granada chooses to stay high, but Hamilton and Beaver are going to hook up with him on the bottom. It's going to be 2x2, 3 rows deep.
So I ask this question all the time in real life, but do you want to be leading or in second place on that final lap when that white flag comes out? Of course, in real life, caution comes out, the race is over, but here on iRacing, once that white flag comes out, you're racing back to the checkered. Where do you guys want to be?
I think right now it seems like Wood is, I mean, as Worrell gets a run on its inside as I say this, but Wood has been doing a fantastic job of kind of blocking up the runs and keeping those trucks behind him. So if you're Chris Wood, I think you might want to be leading. Anybody else, I think you might want to be second, just to generate that run. And yeah, I think you have a little bit more options of people going with you if you're in second rather than being the leader, where you're probably more likely to be left out on your own.
Yeah, just cut in real quick. We see Henry Clapper going a lap down right there as I believe he hit pit road. And Chris Worrell going to take the lead and lead this lap back to the line.
Worrell with a nice block on Matthew Wood there as he gets clear of him, jumps up immediately in front of the 16. The 16 doesn't like it, so he's going to go high. Going to shoot to the outside of Worrell. They're going to go 3 wide. Worrell's going to be stuck in the middle. Logan Hamilton to the bottom with a run. He's going to get side by side and nearly clear the 16 of Matthew Wood. Going to get ahead of him nonetheless, and they're going to go side by side on the backstretch.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but Worrell, it's almost like he's overwhelmed when he gets up front there, and they start coming at him both sides, and he just gets stuck in the middle and sent to the back all over again. He has to climb that mountain once again to get back to the front.
It seems like they're still going to be side by side here. Clappert is going to hold on to the draft, so while he is a lap down, that doesn't mean he can't play a factor in this one, as we've seen him battling earlier on. So I would be surprised if he chooses to not battle now that he's back in that lead pack, as Granada's going to be pushing Wood onto the outside, going to get Wood at least clear of Hamilton as they come down the back. Worrell's going to jump to the outside with them and see if he can generate a run as well.
It's kind of wild. We talked about Paul Granada making some enemies, but I'm not sure, no matter how much you don't like him tonight, he's one guy to be in front of, because he's going to give you a shove and get you right out front. What a great move on the outside there. That gets Matthew Wood up to the lead once again, but now we're going to go 3 wide down the front straightaway.
I'll tell you, I feel like Worrell has kind of been sort of like a lone wolf in this one. He makes moves and no one really goes with him. He gets up to the front and no one really goes with him, and I'm not sure why that is. I guess he made some enemies somewhere along the way, but it seems like whenever the 06 tries to make anything work, Granada's going to make a block. Nobody goes with him. Worrell goes with the 8 of Granada and going to get sideways.
Lots of contact.
Lots of contact. They're going to stay straight for now, somehow hold on to it as Hamilton dives low. Wood goes high. And Full Throttle Motorsports, Wood and Steinbach going to stay together for now. It's going to be Granada out to the lead.
Everyone kept it together there, but Granada's a sitting duck as he's going to get passed on the inside. Big move there by Matthew Wood, and he's going to take the lead away once again, and he's got help from his teammate Quinn Steinbach on the inside. 6 laps to go.
An absolute thriller here tonight. Granada's going to block that inside line into the back bumper of Carter Cornwell. They're going to have to do, actually, it looks like deja vu to what they did to him a little while ago. It's going to be Hamilton and Beaver getting helped out from that move, as they're going to go to second and third to sit behind Granada.
Yeah, and they passed by Carter Cornwell once again right there on the inside. Damage to that truck is Logan Hamilton diving to the bottom, and now we're 2 by 2 and going to be 3 wide. Matthew Wood jumps to the high side of Paul Granada, and we're going to be 3 wide coming off turn number 4 back to the line to take 5 laps to go.
The fun thing about Matthew Wood in this situation is he knows that no matter what move he makes, he's going to have a teammate that is more than likely going to go with him in Steinbach. So everyone else kind of at a disadvantage where they might not exactly know who's going to go with them, versus those 2 Full Throttle Motorsports trucks. More than likely going to stay nose to tail throughout any runs that are made.
Granada. Shoots to the outside. Going to get side by side with Matthew Wood. Going to get help from the 44 of Hamilton. The full throttle guys have been shooting away from pushing just about anyone all night, as it seems like Hamilton and Beaver are much more friendly to be pushing people as opposed to the full throttle motorsports trucks. So we'll see. Granada's going to get the lap led as they hit the line to go. Only 4 laps to go. It has been quite a show so far tonight.
Yeah, 10 miles left to go, and that doesn't sound like much, but there's so much that can happen in the closing laps here at Daytona as Matthew Wood going to clear for the lead, crash behind, Clapper in the wall. Steinbach involved as well. Looks like we'll stay green as they keep it straight. Those two trucks going to the outside wall there. And racing for the lead now is World going to dive to the inside of Matthew Wood. And Granada, on the outside with help from Logan Hamilton.
These guys are all over the place. Steinbach turns Clapper into the outside wall there, and I think he loses a tire, but nonetheless, now that just means that Wood is separated from a teammate. Granada's able to go at him like crazy. 3 to go at the line.
You hate to see another truck taken out of the battle, but what this does is now we have 5 trucks who have no help. So it's basically 1v1, v1, v1, v1. Like we are 5 trucks on their own solo. Who's gonna go with who? Who's gonna help who? This is fantastic.
And we're using every inch of racetrack here as Paul Granada and everyone went right up to the fence there through 1 and 2, and now they're bumper to bumper to bumper. Big shots coming. They're all touching each other, and now coming into turn number 3, there's still 3 in a line right here is, oh man, lots of contact right there. They're going to come back to 2 laps to go here.
4 trucks up on the outside there. Worrell in 5th, a little bit of a gap there. It seems like it's going to be Wood leading him to the line. Hamilton's going to shoot low. We've seen these two battle up front time and time again already. So no shock to see these two at the front of the field. We're going to get side by side now. Hamilton is going to be on the bottom. Granada's going to be on the top with Matthew Wood. Worrell in tow with them. Beaver's going to be on the bottom with Hamilton.
Going to be a big run on the high side here as Granada's connected with Wood like crazy. They're going to get a big shove down that backstretch. Worrell going to push that 8 truck of Granada, and they're going to clear 3 of them right there and actually create a little bit of a gap. Let's see what happens here in 3 and 4.
Running the top side now through 3 and 4. They've been glued to it. Hamilton's going to shoot low, make another move at. He has to go. He has to try something here late if he wants a shot at the win. Going to get side by side with Worrell. They're going to take the white flag. 1 lap to go here on Season 3 of the American Thunder Superspeedway Series.
Going to be an intense finish here as Granada locked on that back bumper of Matthew Wood. And they're pushing all the way into turn 1 and even through turns 1 and 2 right now on that high side. Worrell 3rd in line. Hamilton on the bottom there with help from the 97 truck. They're all working down the back straightaway.
Staying loyal right now. There goes Granada to the inside. Wood's going to block. Granada's going to get turned, hit onto the outside wall. So is everyone. Beaver's going to go to second.
Hamilton.
Wood's going to get into the lead. Will Beaver have a run as they're wrecking behind? Coming off of turn 4, it's going to be Matthew Wood coming to the line first. First, he got the championship. Now he's going to get the race win. Matthew Wood's going to be your race winner and Season 3 champion here at Daytona.
What a race and what a finish. Matthew Wood, congratulations. Put on a hell of a show all season long and caps off his championship with an exclamation mark. How about that for that number 16 team?
What a run. What a season, honestly, for that entire Full Throttle Motorsports camp, especially with the number 16 truck. I mean, just absolute domination of a season, I think.
I feel like you see those Ram trucks pull up on the grid every time. Every night we come out here and you're in for a tough go of things because those guys, all of them, are so good at all these racetracks, and they showed it, and they come out with both the team championship and the drivers championship right here tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah. Heck of a race up front. heck of a finish and heck of a season, honestly, from everyone here in the American Thunder Super Speedway Series. Let's take a look at your race results here at Daytona. Matthew Wood going to be your race winner, your season champion. Heck of a run from that 16 truck. Aaron Beaver is going to come home in second place. A great run from him. Mentioned him early on, and he continued to prove why. Great run out of that 97 truck. Logan Hamilton going to come home in third after that last lap incident. Randy Cornwell, Chris Lewis, and Carson Kenny all going to pick up the pieces from those front drivers taking each other out. Cornwell 4th, Lewis 5th, Kenny 6th. Worrell will fall back to 7th place after that incident. Granada will fall back to 8th. Clappert's going to come home in P9, and Quentin Steinbach will finish in 10th.
Looking further back, we have 11th place Quentin Steinbach, Lucian Thompson, rather. He went a couple laps down there under green, same as Carter Cornwell coming home P12. Joseph Smith, the championship rival for Matthew Wood, unfortunately caught up in an incident earlier on, about halfway through the race, in fact. He comes home 13th place, and Brian Kenny going to come home 14th. 15th place, we have Tim Abril. 16th, we have Jace Lafort. 17th, Jesse Meyer. 18th, Tyler Clunan. And rounding our field, we have Caden White in the 33 truck. He comes home 19th.
Heck of a race here tonight. We are going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll come back with interviews from your champion and your top 3. We'll be right back here on the Ignite Sim Racing Network.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back here to the American Thunder Super Speedway Series finale at Daytona. We just watched an absolute barn burner here from these guys. Only a few up front still in the race, but those few decided that they were going to throw haymakers at each other, dive bombs, crazy blocks, and all types of moves all night. Ended up with a Matthew Wood win, a Matthew Wood championship, and we're going to bring him up into the booth for an interview. Hey, Matthew, this is Josh in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
I got you.
Well, congratulations on both the championship and the win. I'm sure championship not exactly winning it the way you would have liked with your rival there and Smith crashing out early, but heck of a race for the win there. I mean, I hope it was as fun for you to race as it was for us to watch.
Oh, it was so fun. You know, I've really been working on super speedways really hard over the past probably 6 months. I could not win on them, could not win a single race on them. I've been working really hard with Jack Shack and BGR to improve my skills there, and I have tremendously. But it was so fun being up there with Quentin and Jace when he was up there. It just sucks that, like you said, it's not the way I wanted to win it. It's a anticlimactic end to a head-to-head championship battle, but from what I was told, if it would have been regular points, like full season points or playoff, whatever, I still would have won it anyway. So that's nice. But sure for Joseph, that doesn't lessen the pain anymore. So just sucks that happened to him. It really does. Nothing he could do. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I know it happened behind me, and he was just on the top lane and got squished. So nothing he could do. But I mean, me and him, class of the field. So just incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, definitely a deserving champion. Had the most race wins out of anyone this season, and really were a factor in pretty much every race you were in. So, I mean, what was the key to being up there throughout the entire season and getting it done tonight?
Again, just the experience from everybody over there at PGR and Jack Shack, JSR. Everybody here at Full Throttle Motorsports, me and Quentin, were pushing each other all the way. We tried not to leave each other as much as we could. Stuck together very nicely for most of that race before he got into a little accident there. And again, I got to thank everybody on Full Throttle Motorsports, me, Jace. I'm not thinking myself. Jace, Joseph, Nick Wheeler, he's out. He's flying home right now as we speak. So sad that he couldn't be here, but I know he'll go back and watch this. Love you, Nick. Quentin, everybody that's on this team has done an incredible job all season. We've been through our ups and downs. Thank Chris for the league. Thank you guys for the broadcast and anybody who supports the broadcast. Outlier Speed Co. Make the best setups on iRacing, Team Dog Racing, and Kieran Liftlander Racing. I think that's how you say it, but I've been on the side quest. I've always done road and oval stuff. Now I'm doing rallycross. I figured, I'm actually pretty good at that, so might as well start doing some stuff on that. So, just an incredible experience overall. So,
awesome, man. Well, congratulations once again. We appreciate you taking the time to talk to us tonight, and really all season. You've been up here a bunch, so obviously, thank you for putting on a show and always being a great sport about it. So, yeah, hopefully we'll see you back here in one season's time, and I'm sure you're going to be up front when you take the track again, once again.
thank you all. God bless everybody. Thank you.
Thanks for taking the time to chat. That was your race winner, your season champion, the number 16 Full Throttle Motorsports Ram truck of Matthew Wood. Heck of a run from him. Heck of a season from him. Absolutely domination, both here tonight and throughout the season. Second place, Aaron Beaver. We're going to bring him up into the booth. If he is in the booth. Not sure I see him.
Don't think we've got Aaron Beaver.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Let's go Logan Hamilton real quick, our third place finisher. Hey, Logan, it's Jay in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, congratulations on P3. Unfortunately, it got knocked out of the playoffs a little earlier than you wanted to, but incredible season overall and great race for you. Just talk us through that final little bit of the race where you guys were kind of 7-truck pack and racing like that.
Yeah, it does. It sucks about not being able to have a chance at it, but it was worth it. I went over to England and watched the F1 race at Silverstone, so I'll trade it for being in the playoffs. But anyways, about the last lap. I kind of just kept getting unlucky with who I chose, like which line I chose for the last 20 laps or however long that run was. And so it kind of got to the end, and it's kind of I was just like I gotta hope they wreck or something. And the 8 came down in front of me, went all the way down almost to the line, and then it looked like he started to come back up just a tiny bit, and then it kind of hooked him off me, and at that point Matthew had won pretty much, unless Aaron could get a run somehow. But luckily we were so far ahead that I was able to kind of get it straight and recover and still finish third, which is a good result, honestly. I didn't practice at all. I mean, it's Daytona, you don't need a ton of practice, but this is the first time I had really even booted up the sim since I got back, so I'll take it.
Yeah, fair enough. And that's awesome you got to check out an F1 race. What was the aggression like in that small pack? I mean, it's a small pack, not many drivers, but the aggression from up here at least seemed like it was crazy every lap.
Yeah, it was a lot of take, not a lot of give. And even I was trying to sit behind Matthew until the end. I was going to sit and kick almost and try to pass him coming to the line or something. But my water temp was overheating, and I was trying to back off, but the 8 was pushing me so hard that I couldn't get far enough back to cool it down, so I had to get out of line, and that was kind of where it all went downhill, because it was 3v2, top v bottom, so just kind of had to recover and try to get back into a position where I could try to challenge for it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, congratulations on P3. And before we let you go, you have anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, shout out to iRacing, Cornwall Barbecue Sauce, TA3 Designs, just all the guys back at my team that make these leagues so fun. Fortunately, I think this will probably be the last league I do for a while, because I got to go back to school. But it was fun. I had a good time, even at the beginning of the season when I was getting really mad about getting wrecked every week. But I had a good time. I'm glad I did it, and thanks to you guys for putting on a good show.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time, and congratulations once again on P3, and great season on your part.
Appreciate it.
And that was Logan Hamilton taking the time to join us up in the booth. Well, because we had no Aaron Beaver, Tyler, you were scheduled to interview him. Is there anyone else you'd like to take a moment to interview? We've got a couple in the waiting booth we could drag in.
Yeah, let's see. I think that our highest finisher that is currently in the waiting booth is going to be the 8 of Paul Granada. So I think I'm going to have to drag him up to get a quick interview. So we'll work on doing that real quick.
No, I just want to tell before we get into this, everyone back home, strap on your seatbelts. This is going to be one hell of an interview.
All right, Paul, it's Tyler over the booth. You got us?
I do.
All right, man. Well, it didn't really work out the way you had it planned there. Got involved in an incident coming down the back straightaway on the white flag. You ended up running P8. What was going on kind of after you take that white flag? Only 5 cars left in the race. What was your thought process, and how were you planning on getting to the lead with that last lap?
I came down. We took the white, and my temp said overheating for like 2 laps straight, and I was like, "Well, we're gonna blow up, or we're gonna not lift, and we're gonna see the checker flag of God." And I went down the back stretch, and I thought it was my best time to make a move, and then next minute I was up in the air against the outside wall. I just wanted to try something to try to win that race, and unfortunately ended up in a shower of spokes and a wrecked race car that unfortunately Josh may or may not have to rewrap and fix.
All right, man. Well, I mean, you had a great run today. There was multiple times where we saw you maybe head back to the back of the field through pit stops and just drive straight back to the front. Working with a few different people, making a few different enemies. How do you think your run went overall today?
Being that I had no friends out there, and every time I made a move to go to the front, I would get there and then get freight trained from the outside and the inside. And then I had Henry Clapwood out of nowhere coming to help me, and then I really don't know what happened to him. He just kind of dug himself in a couple wrecks, but it was a lot of fun. Definitely had no friends out there, so me trying to work myself on the outside alone did not work very well. But uh, I mean, it was fun working with some people I've commentated for, but never really raced against. So it was nice. It was fun to get out there and race those guys. Chase was one of them. He was like, "Paul, I miss you." He goes, "I thought your voice was familiar." I didn't really get to work with him at all. He got caught up in an early wreck, but uh, definitely had no friends. Definitely had a lot of enemies out there.
All right, man. Well, a pretty good result nonetheless, even without any friends out there. But who is there anybody you'd like to thank for that good result? Right before we let you go.
I just want to thank you guys for putting the broadcast on. Thanks, Chris, for letting me race. Everybody that attempted to work with me, I attempted to work with, appreciate the assistance and the help. And it was fun being up front and having a shot to win it there towards the end.
All right, man. Well, you definitely put on a show. We were rooting for you up in the booth, and we were getting real excited anytime you made a run. So congratulations on the good run, and we'll talk to you later.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go crack some cold ones now.
All right, sounds good.
That was Paul Granata. After an 8th place finish, as pumped up as ever, was a core reason for why that show was as entertaining as it was. But a show nonetheless. Some awesome racing we saw here tonight for our championship finale here in the American Thunder Super Speedway Series. Any closing remarks on the season, on the race, on the series as a whole?
Yeah, I just gotta say, what an incredible season, and every twist and turn felt like just another great chapter in a good storybook. I mean, we had Jace Lafort, Tim Averill. Those two were dominant in the regular season, had some moments here in the postseason, and those two were fun to watch. Of course, Logan Hamilton as well was very strong. Unfortunately, got caught in some wrecks. And, of course, the Full Throttle Motorsports iRacing battle was fun to watch as well. Just lots of great racing all around, and was just so glad to be a small part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much the same thing here. This Super Speedway series is one of the best, and you see these teams out here, specifically TI and Full Throttle, like Jay mentioned. Those guys just work so well together, and Full Throttle Motorsports locking down the team championship and the drivers championship with Matthew Wood. And I can say I don't know that I've seen more of a deserving champion in the league for a long time. That both the team championship and the drivers championship, Full Throttle dominant all season long, locked up that team championship no problem. And then Matthew Wood, even with the tough playoff format that they have, just really never faltered at all throughout the season. Just, I mean, stayed consistent, stayed fast, and I mean, as dominant as you can be really in this format, bringing home the win in the final race. Just a fantastic job for him, and really just a fantastic season from all these drivers. We saw a little bit of drama. We saw 3 fantastic races to end the season. We saw some newcomers. We saw some people leave the series, but overall, just a fantastic season. And I mean, just great. I had a great time up in the booth, and really hope to come back and do some more with this series.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, huge shout out to all the guys in the American Thunder Super Speedway Series. We super appreciative of them having us out and allowing us to be a part of this. I mean, incredible racing week in, week out, and we're not on track making it happen, but we're up in the sky calling it out for everyone at home to watch. So, super appreciative of them, and super appreciative to Cornwell Barbecue Sauce for coming on board, being the title sponsor for the American Thunder Super Speedway Series. Amazing family-owned sauce, and go out there, do yourself a favor and buy one today. So they're amazing, and we are absolutely incredibly appreciative for everything they do for the league. And like I said, once again, we're super appreciative for them having us out. And yeah, incredible race tonight, incredible races all season. Would love to be a part of it for next season. Not sure the plans for that yet. Not sure if we're coming back. Haven't gotten the nod quite yet from the admins, but we're going to be working on a deal here over the off season. So with that being said, I would like to thank all of you viewers at home for tuning in with us tonight, tuning in with us all season. It's been a pleasure broadcasting the American Thunder Super Speedway Series to each and every one of you. So for the last time this season, this has been Josh Patterson, Tyler Ryan, and Jay Mulder in the Ignite Sim Racing booth, signing off. Hope you have a wonderful evening and a great off season. Hope to see you again next season.